Hello. Today we're going to be going over what functions as first-class citizens are. So first of all, a first-class citizen in programming basically refers to an entity that supports operations available to other entities, including things like assigning to a variable, modifying it, passing as an argument, or returning from a function. And this is based on the definition from Wikipedia. And so a first class function is basically where language basically supports us having these functions being passed around as arguments, returning them, as well as assigning them to variables. Some examples of languages where functions are first class citizens include Python, JavaScript, and PHP for scripting languages, and functional languages like Haskell, Scheme, and Scala. Now, let's take a look at an example of first-class functions in Python in action. So let's start off by creating this test function, and we'll basically, let's say, print number 5 in this test function. And as you remember from the definition of a first-class function, we can assign this function to a variable. So let's create a variable x and assign it testfunc. Oh, sorry, I should say test function. And so then if we want to call x, we can do that, and it should print 5, as you see here. We can also pass this function around as an argument. So if we create, say, a new function, which takes in some other function, and we can call that function within this new func. Now, let's call this new function, but pass in the test function we created earlier. And should say new function right there. So if we call this, we should see 5. And yes, we do see 5. Another thing I want to show is basically, in Python, we have this dir function that basically returns all the properties and methods of a specified object. So if we call dir on testfunc, we should see that it's an instance of the object type, and we can see all the different properties and methods that this function has. So we can see that it is an object. So hopefully that clears up what a first class function is.